Hello! It's day 2055 of DML, and it's also new update day, so we've got new stuff to look at, and we've got the new bosses in game now. I've seen a lot of conversations about them, and we will take a look at them, and you can judge it yourself. But anyway, we have this new opening screen, which obviously tells us a few things about the new update. So if you don't have the update, make sure you go and try and download it from your respective store. But anyway, new boss dragon powers. These dragons sure know how to boss around. Speed up your production time with the power of the new boss dragons and collect more resources than ever. Then we've also got the Dragon's Delight improvements, which we'll still have to wait and see for these. Join the race for first place on the leaderboard. Unleash the frenzy bar and use the new Joker items smartly to claim awesome rewards in upcoming Dragon's Delight events. That sounds weird. Leaderboard and repeatable milestones in solo events. Repeat the last milestone of the solo event as many times as you can and get on the top of the competition. So yes, technically solo events are now endless. So if you are someone that just wants to play the game endlessly, although it is still timer based, I think. Well, technically we've got a way to keep doing that now, but we've got that. I've also received MVP rewards. Thank you, Gameloft, for your kindness. You know, I always appreciate the extra gems, relics, and such. And you know, we've got lots of people like the wiki members and things that get rewarded for helping out people, and you know, I think it's great that they can get rewarded for, you know, all the stuff that they do, all the posts and things like that. So thank you, customer care. We've got a special dungeon offer. I'm not going to do that right now. And we've also got update rewards. Thank you for playing and updating DML. As a token of our appreciation, please take these rewards. That was a lot of, well, my goodness, I've basically doubled my gem count now. Lovely. Well, that was a lot of stuff to have to click through. But of course, the first thing that we went through there was the bosses. We've also got the Dragon of the Week being Hippie, which I don't need. I've also got clam gems. Jeez, we're just stacking the gems at the moment. And we're gonna need all of these gems, because if we check out the new boss dragons, I think they're in here. We've got our first dragon here, and you'll see Mr. Keykeeper. And if we check out his information, this is one of the first new boss dragons. He gives 250 DCP, and you know, he's a cool looking dragon, which he's an existing dragon. But he generates one sigil key every 23 hours. But he costs 5,000 gems. So just like some of the other bosses that are like 2,500 and 250 for Mr. Popsicle being cheap, the new bosses cost 5,000 gems each. So that's the first one, Keykeeper. We've also got Relic Trader, who's obviously a boss version of the Mystic Dragon, and he generates one random relic every 23 hours. Notice it's not 24, so it's a little bit less than a day. And again, 5,000 gems. Token Granter, who is a slime dragon in boss form, a long-time resident of the Bottomless Dungeon and keeper of its secrets, blah blah blah. It gives 75 dungeon tokens every 23 hours, 5,000 gems. So there's that boy as well. We've also got the Ticket Master, who's the Lilith dragon, and it gives 4 enchantment tickets every 23 hours. Again, costs 5,000. And then we do also have the Ultimate Grand Supreme Dragon, which gives us double of all of the effects of the other bosses. And I actually can't see him at the moment. He's not in promotions, is he? No, I don't see him in the promotions section, but we do also have the final boss dragon that we can purchase, which is the one that doubles the effects of all of these. So will he also be 5,000? Will he be less? Will he be more? I can't actually confirm right now because he's not in the shop. Maybe he'll go on sale. But, you know, those are the new dragons. The new boss dragons, at least. So that's that. We do also, of course, have lots of new dragons that have been added as part of the update, which I'm sure we can't see all of them right now, but the Dragon Codex is currently at 797 dragons, which means we are closing in on 800 very, very quickly. We do also know that the new divines have been added in with the update. Don't ask how I know, but some of them, at the very least, have been added in. But apart from that, the main changes to this update were the Dragon's Delight / solo event changes and those boss dragons, and just making sure that all of the new dragons and such have been added in preparation for the new divine event. So, in the new divine event, I did go through it that we've got the new divine altar stuff that's been added in. But the dragons that we know that are coming out are just the ones from the altar. They've also confirmed that Freya should be coming back as well. So we've got the Freyr and we've got Freya, who are both, or should both be coming in the new event. And there's no reason to believe that we're only getting those divines, because they have essentially confirmed that there is going to be a divine castle of some kind. And the divine event will last 28 days. So it's going to be the same length as the Time Rift events or the Ancient events. So we'll have to see exactly how they do it. But we've got new Holy Talismans to collect. We've got new dragons that are going to be coming. And old dragons as well. So again, before the new event comes, I do highly recommend you try and breed the Fool and any other dragons that you really need. Because if you... Oh, okay, then I've bred the Fool. That's cool. There you go. Bred another one. Very cool. But I do recommend that you try and breed as many as you can now if you want them, because it's going to be hell during the event. The other thing that's been happening with this update is that right now, apparently, there are quite a few visual bugs happening for players. And in particular, the sigil contest scores are a little bit broken. Apparently this is just a visual bug that's happening. So even if it says that your score is completely wrong, it's not actually completely wrong. It's just a visual bug. And by that it means your score is being counted correctly. Or it should be. It's just the game isn't displaying the numbers correctly to you. So don't panic if it says that you've got a score of 0 or a score of 10, because obviously I've just done these 2 fights. Let's go and check my sigil score now. But it says that we can get the 4.4 million points, but obviously we don't get to actually go on the leaderboard, so it's not going to change anything here. But apparently people's scores in each individual fight are also kind of displaying wrong. Not sure exactly on the full specifics, but again, apparently it is just a visual bug, not something that will genuinely impact your game. So, let's hope that they get that fixed. Obviously, with new updates, there may be new things that have been added. There may be some old things that have been changed, some things that maybe weren't displayed to us before. So, if you do find anything new or that has changed, you know, let me know. Because I'm always interested to see what things they have changed, what things they haven't changed. But so far, most of the breeding screens and everything look kind of normal. DML looks like DML. Nothing too major has gone on. But we do have those new bosses. And like I said, the main thing that people have been worried about with these new bosses is the fact that they are so expensive. And do remember that every other boss that you have that isn't these new ones, they generate gold. But if you buy the super special dragon that doubles the effects of all the others, then the gold generators will also double. So then each boss that you have that's one of the others will generate 20%, or that actually it depends on how they do the calculation for what times what. But could be 20%, it could be a different thing altogether. Again, depends on how it goes through, but essentially that's how it would work out. So, what should we think about this new update? I don't think there's really any denying that it is kind of a pay-to-win update, because the actual benefits that you get out of a singular sigil key, or 4 enchantment tickets, or other... Oh, is enchantment broken? No? Maybe enchantment is broken. again, some things might be a little bit sketchy at the moment because of new update stuff. So don't be too concerned. But like I said, you know, it is a super pay to win edition. But the only real good thing, I guess, about it is the fact that the dragons don't actually... They're not super overpowered, because if the dragons and their effects were super good, and they're like $150 base, because you can't afford them just with the biggest gem bundle. If you don't have the gems right now and you wanted to buy them today, you'd need to buy the biggest gem bundle along with the second largest gem bundle. So that's $150 of value for each dragon. And the dragons, the powers that they have, aren't very strong. So this is probably going to turn into the same thing as with the planet dragon for the people that bought him, except, you know, the planet dragon you can actually use on the map, you can upgrade, things like that, whereas these boss dragons, you can't use them in the map, you can only use them for their bonus effects. There is also a new loading screen now, and the new loading screen does trigger me a bit, because if you pay attention, it looks like the fireball dragon is actually underneath the eternal fruit tree. And you should know my absolute love for eternal fruit tree now. So basically they've put the eternal fruit tree, which is like the biggest scam in the game, on the front page of the game. And look, I get it, because as a newer player it looks like a good deal. If you're someone that basically only plays DML for 5 minutes a day, sure, I can see the justification for buying the fruit tree, because, you know, you're not actually generating food. But then at that point, should you even be spending, because you're not actually playing the game? I think that's another conversation to be had. But yes, they've actively put the fruit tree on the new front cover. So it does trigger me a little bit, not gonna lie. There's very few things in life that you can trigger me by mentioning, but fruit tree is one of them. These boss dragons, I'm not surprised at the cost of them. That's not to say that they won't change how much they cost in future, although if they've already set the price and then they reduce it later on, you'd probably get a lot of angry people for those that already did buy them. But it's an interesting concept, because all of the other boss dragons that we used to get only used to give gold, and I've only got one boss dragon myself. He was 50 gems on sale, La Fontaine. We could also go and buy another boss dragon right now, because, you know, some of the really cheap ones, it makes sense to go from cheapest to most expensive with the bosses. But 5,000 gems. It's a lot of gems. A lot of gems. Because, again, if we're going to go by that base cost, the biggest deal isn't enough. That's £83, $100. That's not enough for a boss. That's how expensive they come out as. But then, obviously, you can earn gems via cheaper methods like the clan. You can earn gems through in-game tasks, so you could argue that it's not actually $150. But if we just looked at the gem value for what you'd have to buy in the shop, it comes to a hell of a lot of money. So will I be buying them? No. I will not be buying them personally. You know, I do like the designs of boss dragons, the fact that they're basically just buffed normal dragons, but the costs are just way too high. And especially if you're someone that's already bought a lot of other bosses and now you have to buy these other ones, I don't know. I don't know, it's an interesting concept, but maybe if they reduce the cost by about 90% for every single boss dragon, then it would be more of an interesting concept to me. But for now, we'll wait out, we'll see what happens with the new event types, and I'm waiting for more image files and such for the new event dragons. So, yeah, I mainly just wanted to let you know, new update is here, new bugs are here. The only reason I really update on the bugs is because you're not the only one encountering problems. They're on the move to fix it. Don't stress. You know, it's not the end of the world. Enchantment League's broken at the moment. Okay, we'll wait. But let me know what you think about the bosses yourself. I've seen a lot of negative comments so far, even from some of the most ardent fans, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about the cost, personally, but, you know, maybe that's me being a little bit of a cynic. But anyway, for now, I do appreciate you being here. Make sure you go and download the new update and get prepped for new events, and we'll see what happens from here.